Cheers, legends. Sammy from Short and Stout Beer Reviews. We have an Aussie craft beer here. It's very cold tonight, hence the beanie. Yeah, this is Seeker Brewing. They're out in New South Wales. I can't remember if they're north or south of Sydney, but they're in like a smaller town, I think. They've got a fair bit of hype to them lately. They're doing really well. So this is a double dry hopped IPA at 7% called Running Wild. First thing I thought of was Running Wild, the song by Airborne. Airborne are an awesome like Aussie sort of newer AC/DC style band, and they're from like my hometown, so it's pretty cool. So yeah, I think this is like a modern West Coast. I'm not too sure, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. I worked this morning. I finished sort of mid arvo and had a bit of a nap, and now I'm keen for a couple of beer reviews. So let's see how we go. Two sort of fairly well hyped, like West Coast style beers. Cheers to Trilby and Martine. Good to see you. It's absolutely freezing here tonight. We've had a really nice autumn, like summer's sort of carried through. But yeah, just the last few days, it's like now we're in the peak of winter. This morning it was like 2 degrees Celsius for a couple of hours. I just couldn't get warm at work. So I've got my posh glassware, and yeah, that's the can there. They've always got fairly similar sort of can sort of format. But yeah, with my new role at work, I'm definitely enjoying morning shift a lot more than Arvo shift because I get a lot more time at home. Yeah, you guys are the opposite to us. I reckon last year the UK it had a really good summer, or it might have been the year before. And like Australia, especially in the south here, it had a really shit summer. But the one just gone was actually really good. So in the glass, it pours like it's a bit darker in my camera, but in reality, sort of like a light orange. And you can't quite see through it. So it's not like you're full on clean and clear, but like it's got a slight sort of chill haze. And it's fairly active carbonation. You can see it sort of sticking to the glass and running up the middle like a cyclone. It's about a 2-finger head. Looks pretty nice in the glass. Yeah, I know you're in Ireland. That's one thing with you guys. When I talk about UK, I'm just talking about everyone in general in my beer community. And Scottish people and Irish people get so offended by it. It's like, it's okay. Just settle down. I know Stewie from Scotland. Every time I'm talking about UK and like my beer community in the UK and that, he gets so angry. And I'm like, I'm not talking about you, Stewie. I'm just talking about the UK in general. So on the nose, I'm getting a lot of peach. And some grapefruit. Smells like sort of more pithy than sweet. Like there's a lot of sort of fruit skin. Maybe some lemon, a bit of zest. It's got that smell though, like it's going to be sort of dry and bitter. What part of Ireland are you in? I forgot. I don't know. I can't remember if you're sort of in the. I'm pretty sure you're in a rural area, but I just can't remember sort of what direction. And I know Trilby's sort of down towards the south of England. Cork, yep, that's it. It's got like maybe a touch of like passion fruit. There's like a slight sort of tartness there. I do all the time. People do it to wind me up. But yeah, a lot of times I'm just talking about different areas of the globe, and if like I don't know, there's Scottish or Irish people, it's like they take huge offence, but I'm not referring to them in general. Maybe I'll just not use the term UK ever. I'll just single out every single country when I talk about it. Anyway, time to get into it. First beer for the day. There'll only be a couple because obviously I have work early in the morning. Cheers. I can't wait to do a pub crawl of Ireland to be unreal. Just getting around, interacting with the locals, singing, drinking many ales. It sounds like your butt hurt like Stewie is. Yeah, it's quite tart. I would say like a biscuity, bready backbone. It's not really like your caramel. Yeah, 4.5 might be a little bit high for this one. It's good, but not quite that good. Yeah, it's quite dry. Probably moderate bitterness. I get a lot of like a white peach, maybe even like some apricot. Sort of yeah, like a modern West Coast. I've got a feeling the next beer I'm going to have is going to be sort of similar. And speaking of New Zealand, the next beer is actually from New Zealand. I could tell this morning when I left to go to work, it was that cold. My dogs didn't even want their food, they just wanted to be left alone. You know it's cold if a dog doesn't want their food. I just left them like laying with the huge blanket sort of between them. And then by the time I got home from work, it sort of had warmed up a bit. So then they were hungry. Geez, I'd love to live the life of a dog. Yeah, it's such a great thing. Like food, there's like something for everyone. Have you got like a favourite style? Like it's funny when you first start drinking all these different styles, a lot of them you won't like, and then as you keep evolving and trying more and your palate sort of changes, the styles that you didn't like, you start to enjoy, and then the ones you liked at first, you sort of get a bit sick of them. Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know if I've had some Australias, but I don't think I've had that one. What's the bottle look like? One thing that these guys have been doing lately that's really cool, they've got like these cans and they're really small. So they've got big ABV, so they're like quite boozy, but they're only like a smaller size. So you sort of they're more for like just tasting, and you'll get like a 6 pack, and it'll be like a 14% imperial stout and a 10% sour, and they're all like really strong because they're in a smaller size. You can sort of just have a couple of sips, and that's all you need. Yep, cool. Actually, I just remembered I have to start at 4 a.m. tomorrow. Damn it. I forgot all about it. Because normally on morning shift, we only start Mondays at 4 a.m. Every other day is 5. But apparently there's a heap on tomorrow and they wanted a few of us to start at 4. Oh, I forgot. So I'm going to have to get up at 2:30. Lucky I'm doing these beer reviews early. 4.7%. Yeah. This one here is 7. I think the one I'm having after it's like 7.2. I really miss my night shifts though. I used to hang out with like a heap of the American boys and we'd do like beer shows together and that, and it'd be like my sort of late morning, early afternoon, and their night. And yeah, like every week we'd be doing stuff together. Or every week I was on nights anyway, we'd be doing stuff together. And yeah, I don't do it anymore. So it's a bit of a shame. I actually just sent a message to Simo. We're just talking about music and stuff together. I think it was, yeah, I reckon it was Simo and Paul who I met you through. It was funny when I chimed into Paul and Michelle's the other day. Geez, they were drunk. Me and Paul are talking about doing a stream together where we listen to the Beatles. That'd be pretty cool. It'll probably end up getting canned though. It's always hard trying to listen to music. You end up getting your stream taken down. See, on the back it says, Running Wild is a fresh twist on a classic, blurring the lines of what an IPA can be. With a juicy yet crystal clear body, it showcases the bold character of Nelson Sauvin, Mosaic, and Cascade, while a unique hybrid yeast pushes the boundaries of tradition. The result, a brew that feels both new and strangely familiar. The perfect balance of innovation and nostalgia. So yeah, it's like a new West Coast, but they're using sort of some old ingredients. So there's a bit of a sort of a mixture of the new and the past. I like that colour though, like that sort of like a jade green or an aqua, sort of that bluey greeny colour. Yeah, they're definitely one of the sort of newer breweries in Australia that have a bit of hype behind them. There's another one in Victoria called Goodland. It's pretty cool. When I was in Melbourne not last weekend, the one before, I did a tasting with the girl from Goodland, and she was saying everyone that works for the brewery is part of a family. So, like all your brewers and that, they're all like brothers and cousins, and like a lot of the girls work in like sales or like hospitality, and yeah, it's pretty cool. All based in a small town on the other side of Melbourne from where I am. I'm not sure with these guys if they're like a family team or. It's always cool when you see a brewery that's owned like by a husband and wife, and they're sort of the front face of the business. A lot of my favourite breweries are like that. Or even better is like when you get like a father and son team or something like that. So yeah, the fact that it's got Nelson in it, there may be that touch of sort of white grape character, but I think I'm getting more of like a passion fruit, grapefruit sort of thing from. It's definitely got some sort of like tartness to it. It'd be good if I had a an electric blanket on a night like tonight. So good getting in when it's real cold, getting into like a warm bed like that. Oh, 4 a.m. start. Geez, that's gonna hurt. It's gonna be so cold getting up and walking to work at 4 a.m. Does anyone out there, whether you're watching now or afterwards, have any advice on how to like get rid of tough stains in the glassware without using a dishwasher? Is it just as simple as like Because I've been told with this glass that you shouldn't use even like they don't want you to use like detergent. It's one of those glasses where they just want you to sort of, yeah, whenever you use sort of like some sort of like cloth, but just with like water. I don't know. I just feel like though it's got these stains on it now, and I can't get rid of them. So any advice would be appreciated. I just thought it like surely detergent can't hurt it that much. I thought maybe just soaking it for like overnight or something. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I might give that a whirl. Yeah, baking soda and vinegar, just let it soak. Yeah. Soak it overnight and then maybe just sort of give it a go over with the cloth afterwards. Yeah, it's just got, I don't know if you can see it, but it's sort of got stains just along the bottom. Most of the time I can get it pretty clean, but I think too because of the shape of it, it's really hard. You can't really get your hand in there. It's just that the bottom sort of the bottom part where it's on that funny angle. It's just real hard to get that part clean. And you can sort of see there's like scratches on it from where I've been trying to get it. Some of my glassware I'll just use like a toothbrush. That normally does the job. But yeah, baking soda and vinegar, definitely. I have both those ingredients in my laundry cupboard. But yeah, that beer's done and dusted. I think a score for this one, I'd probably say I'd probably go about a 4.2 out of 5. I liked it, but it wasn't anything like real special. It was just sort of solid. Um, yeah, I think sometimes Nelson, when it comes to like West Coast and that, it doesn't sort of shine like it does in hazies. The Cascade was good. You definitely got that piney, sort of earthy quality. But yeah, it was. I think this beer would have been a bit nicer with a touch of sweetness. Maybe even like a slight sort of caramel malt as well. But yeah, like it's still good. It's just not like mind blowing. Some of the Seeker beers I've had have been like really, really good. So yeah. No, I don't put any of my glassware in dishwashers. The only glassware I put in dishwashers is like just old school glasses that don't have any like branding or I don't really care too much about. I just chuck them in with like, yeah, plates and cutlery and that sort of stuff. But all my beer glassware I just wash by hand. So yeah, 4.2. Running Wilds, double dry hopped IPA by Seeker Brewing. And yeah, it was 7%. They're out of, I think it's called Unanderra, New South Wales. So yeah, wherever that is. At a guess, I'm probably saying it's like north of Sydney, probably near Newcastle, somewhere in that area. Apologies if it isn't. It could be south, it could be Wollongong. But yeah, get on to Seeker if you can get their beers. They're generally pretty solid, and yeah, they try out different styles as well. So yeah, I'm going to move on, and I'm doing another review shortly, probably about 5 minutes from now. So cheers for chiming in, Pete's, and we'll see you on the next.